Hello everyone, we meet again. I'm teacher Sri Priya from SJKT Permatang Tinggi and I'm super excited to have all of you today. Before I proceed further, I would like to express my gratitude to the Penang State Education Department, Penang Tamil Schools Headmasters Association, Cisco Sendrian Berhad, our coordinator Mr. Hemangandan and Mr. Prabhu from SJKT Ladang Jawi, and not forgetting my headmistress, Madam Tamilchelvi Velayudam, for giving me an opportunity to be part of this online teaching platform. Before I move on, as usual, I have a few ground rules for you all to follow. Are you all ready, children? Number one, be prepared with your writing tools. You can have your notebook and stationeries with you. Rule number two, be nice in the chat box. Do not post unnecessary comments or emojis as it might distract the others. And rule number three, which is the most important rule, is do not forget to register your attendance once the attendance link is provided. Okay, it's displayed now. You can have a look and don't forget to register your attendance. Okay, as simple as that. Now let me introduce our presenter for today. She is none other than teacher PRABITRA MUNUSAMY from SJKT Ladang JURU. Teacher Prabi is no stranger to online class, and today she has picked adverbs. She will be conducting an online lesson, and I hope she will share her expertise in conducting the lesson for us today. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to teacher PRABITRA. Over to you, teacher PRABITRA.
Thank you to our moderator, Ms. Sri Priya. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm teacher PRABITRA MUNUSAMY from SJKT Ladang JURU. Would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to our Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Pulau Pinang, the Penang Headmaster Association, Cisco Sendrian Berhad for their continuous technical assistance, the coordinators, Mr. Heman and Mr. Prabhu, and my heartfelt gratitude to my headmistress, Mrs. Maheshwari, and not forgetting my lovely colleagues for their continuous support. All right, children, a very good evening to you. How are you all today? Hope everyone is doing fine. Hope you're safe and sound at home. All right. We will be looking into a part of speech today. We are going to learn the topic adverbs. Are you ready, children? Let's start our lesson of the day. Fine. Let's see the learning objectives of our lesson today. We are going to learn what is an adverb. All right. I think you know what is an adverb, right? So let's see the learning objectives first. You're going to recognize the adverb, identify types of adverbs, and how to use adverbs correctly. And not forgetting, I'm going to teach you the adverb position so that you can avoid common mistakes that you do in your examination. All right, class? Are you ready? Well, let's move on to our lesson of the day. What is an adverb? Okay, now an adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, now adverb often help us to answer the questions in sentences like when, how much, where, and how often. All right. Now, class, let us see some different types of adverbs and how we use them. Many adverbs describes verb by telling us how an action happens. For instance, running quickly, singing sweetly, shouts loudly. Class, do you notice something about these three adverbs here? Yes, they ends with ly. The adjective quick, sweet and loud here are adjectives that describes nouns. So, when you change it to adverb, it will describe a verb. So, we need to add the ly at the end of the adjective. Are you clear, children? All right, now. You just think of some other adverbs that describes a verb. Can you give me some examples, kids, on adverb? Yes, you can make lots of kinds of adverbs by using adjectives. For an example, the adjective loud, quiet, happy, and slow. These are the adjectives. But when you add the ly to the adjectives, it becomes adverbs. So loud becomes loudly, quiet becomes quietly, happy as happily, slow as slowly. And one thing here you have to remember, class, to describe a verb, you must add the ly to the adjective to create an adverb. Okay? Now, well, children, adverbs can also describe when or how often something happens. These are the words like now, then, tomorrow, always, never, and sometimes. We can use words to describe verbs or adjectives too. Now, let's see. Like walking now. Adverb that describes a verb and adjectives. For an example, walking, now. Now is an adverb that describes the verb walking. For always happy, the adverb always describes the adjective happy. So are you clear now? For the adverb that describes verb and adjectives, this is how you use them in the sentences. All right. Children, adverb can also answer the questions where in a sentence. It shows us where the action happens. Like, look up, come here. So, what are the adverbs here? Yes, the word here and up. All right. We have many more examples like inside, outside, there, down that describes where something happens. So you can state them as adverbs of place. All right, children. Now, we can also use adverbs to describe how much or to what extent in certain sentences. These are the adverbs like really, very, extremely, almost, and absolutely. Dear children, this type of adverb can describe verb like almost crying. The adverb almost is describing the verb crying. For the adverb extremely, it modifies the adjective hard. Whereas very quickly, it shows two adverbs in a sentence. So, very is an adverb that describes another adverb. So, this is how you express how much or to what extent in sentences. Are you clear, children? Shall we move on? All right. I think you use adverbs in your daily routine, right? So, to explain or answer some questions that you do often, these are the words that you need to use in the sentences. Like always, I always brush my teeth. Usually, I usually go to bed at 9. Often, sometimes, never, and seldom. So, are you with me? Am I going too fast? Okay, children, till here, you can see all the different things an adverb can do. Okay? And based on these functions, for the different jobs they can do, adverbs are divided to 5 common types. Let's learn on that now. Okay? You have to remember these 5 types of adverbs in order for you to form sentences, to answer your MCQ in your examination, and also in your writing purpose. Alright, class. The first one is adverb of manner, which answers the questions how the action happens. Okay? So these are the example of adverbs for adverbs of manner. Loudly. He shouts loudly at the boy. Quietly. Well. She can sing very well. Right? Angrily. Badly. For the next one is adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree shows us how much. For instance, she looks very beautiful. It's really good. Quite. Extremely, as I told you in the previous slide. Absolutely. And the third one is adverb of place, which explains where the action happens. Here, there, up, nearby, upstairs. And for the adverbs of time, it answers the questions when. Yesterday, today, recently, already, still. And for the frequency, it shows us how often you do something. Always, usually, never, often, and seldom. These are the most important 5 common types that are important for us to remember. It's important for you in your section A in your comprehension paper as well as your writing. Now, let's see how does adverb answer some questions about our sentences. Take a look at these examples, children. How are you going to use these adverbs in sentences? Okay, these are the examples. He ate the sandwich quickly. What is the adverb in this sentence? Can you tell me? What is the adverb in this sentence? Yes, Shivani, very good. Sri and Naveen, very good. Quickly. This adverb quickly gives us information about the verb ate. How did he eat the sandwich? So, he ate it quickly. So, this shows the adverbs of manner which explains to us how did he eat the sandwich. For number 2, Jane looks really beautiful in that dress. What is the adverb here, class? Very good, Jasmine. Really? Hema, you have answered correctly. Good. Really? And the adverb really brings us the meaning for beautiful. It modifies the adjective here. So it shows us adverb of degree. How much? Right? Now, you can park your car here. You can park your car here. What is the adverb here in this sentence? Anyone? Yes, exactly. Here is the adverb in this sentence which shows us where the action takes place. For number 4, Glenn went to the beach yesterday. Yesterday gives us the information of adverb of time. So it answers the question, when did Glenn went to the beach? For number 5, can you identify the adverb here? Yes, well done. Sometimes. I sometimes drink coffee in the morning. So what is this adverb explains to us? It explains how often do you drink coffee? Every morning? No, sometimes. So it shows us how often. It is the adverb of frequency. So children, now let's have a small test to see how far is your understanding. I'm pretty sure that whatever I've explained to you just now, you can remember it well, right? I can see from your answers on the screen. Well done. Now, can you identify and name the types of adverbs in these sentences? You can use the remember box here as your guidance. These are the sentences. What you have to do, you have to identify the adverb in the sentence and also the type of adverbs for this sentence. All right, children? Can you? Well, very good. Nareen, quietly. Roshan, you got it right. Okay, well done, kids. Now let's do it together. For the first one, you have the adverb there and also the adverb quietly. Okay, so it shows us adverb of place and manner. Okay, class? Now, for the second one, did you go to school yesterday? Did you go to school yesterday? So what is the adverb here? Yes, well done. It is yesterday. So what is the type of adverb for this sentence? It is the adverb of time. Very good. For number 3, we have the adverb of place. What is it? Yes, downstairs. Downstairs shows us the adverb of place, which means it answers the question where. Right? Raj often goes to the gym. What is the adverb here? Yes, exactly. Often. Often means how often do you go? How often does Raj go to the gym? It means he often goes to the gym, maybe every day, every evening. So, what is the type of adverb here? It is the adverb of frequency, which shows us how often the action is done in a sentence. Now, class, let's move on to the last one here. Camelia speaks English quite well. What is the adverb here? It's quite and well. We have two adverbs here. Alright? So what does the adverb explains to us? Yes, it is the adverbs of degree and adverbs of manner. Well done, kids. I'm really amazed with your answers. You have been so actively answering for all the questions. Alright? Now, before we move on, let us see some examples for adverbs of manner. This is the most common questions tested in your examination. So I'm showing you some examples here. Okay. For the verb answer, when you add the ly for the adjective correct, it becomes correctly. So, answer correctly. Bark fiercely. Laugh happily. Sleep soundly. Shout loudly. Fight bravely. And you have to remember something here. You can't use any adverbs that you think in your guessing. You know why? Because you have to describe the verb here. For instance, answer. You have to answer. You know, when you see the verb answer, you have to answer correctly. You can't say you answer soundly. It's wrong. So you have to remember this. These are some of the rules that you have to remember when answering the questions. All right? Now we are going to see some general rules here. How are we going to add the ly and some of the words that we need to minus out the ly. So for an example here, for number 1, you have sing as verb and bad as adjective. So when you become the adverb, it shows badly. Alright? So, I sing badly. How do I sing? I sing badly. Okay? For the word easy here, you can see the Y here, class. Can you see the Y here? So this word is an adjective. Okay? It is an adjective that ends with Y. So when you have the Y here, you have to replace it with ILY when you form the adverb. So it becomes easily. I can drive the car easily. And for number 3, Another example of adjective, silly. This adjective itself has the ly at the end of it. When you are forming an adverb of manner, you have to add the ly. But for this case, you can't add another ly for this word. So, there is something different you need to do here. You have to use a phrase that is in a silly way. So you say it as he speaks in a silly way. Right. Now, there are also some exceptional cases here where some adjectives does not change. Alright, children? For the word hard, late, and fast, these adjectives will never end with ly. They stay as they are. They don't change their form. So for an example, I study hard. How do I study? I study hard. He comes late. You can't say he comes lately because it gives a different meaning. He can run fast. Okay? For the adverbs with different meaning, as I told you just now, hardly here means almost never. I can hardly hear you. It means I can't hear you. I can hardly sleep. It means I can't sleep. Okay? You don't confuse with the word can here. This hardly brings a different meaning. And the word lately. I haven't seen Mike lately. The word lately here brings the meaning for recently. So, what you're saying here, I haven't seen him these days. I haven't seen him recently. So, you say it as I haven't seen him lately. Right? Now, let's practice something here for the adverbs of manner. I want you to think about how do you do these activities in your life, in your daily life. Now, you answer it for yourself. How do you usually wake up? For me, I wake up happily. And how do you walk if you're late to school? I walk fast. Or for a different situation, you can use I walk slowly. And how do you speak? You have to speak politely or softly. How do you listen to the teacher? You have to listen attentively or quietly. How do you run? I run quickly. And how do you write your homework? I write it neatly. Okay? Now, I think you are very clear, class. So, before we move on, I believe all of you have understood well how to use adverb of manner in your sentences. Now, let us do some exercise here to understand the concept. Are you ready? Now, as I always tell you, you have to read through the questions. When you come across this type of questions in your examination class, you have to find the keyword in order to identify the adverbs. Now, let's see the first question here. Read through the question and answers carefully. Then, remember the concept and go for the keyword. Now, the young lady dresses dash. You have beautiful, beautifully, more beautifully, and beautifully again. Now, what is the keyword here? Yes, dresses. So, how does the young lady dress? She dresses. For the answer A, beautiful is an adjective. Is it the correct answer? No, because we are finding for an adverb, right? For B, beautifully is an adverb. But we are not sure of the answer yet because we haven't go through C and D. For more beautiful, you have the word more, which shows comparative. So this is a comparative adverb where you can't use it here because you don't have any comparison in the question. So we can't accept that too. For D, beautifully is spelled wrongly. So the answer is B. Well done to those who got the correct answers. So let's move on to the second question here. He drove the car dash though it was the first time. Confident. Is it an adverb? No. Before you go to the question here, the answers here, sorry, you have to underline the keyword. Don't forget. So drove. How did he drive the car? Now you are going to explain the verb. So confident, A is not the answer. For B, confidently is an adverb, but you're not confirmed with the answer because you haven't go through C and D, right? For C, you have more. Same case as number 1 question. It's an comparative, so it's not the answer. And for D, it's in the superlative form. So it's not the answer too. And the answer is confidently. He drove the car confidently though it was the first time. Right? Now, let's go to number 3. Grandpa James walks. What's the keyword here, class? Yes, the verb shows walks. So how does grandpa walks? You have to find the adverb. Slow, for A, slow is an adjective. And of course, you can't accept the answer. And for B, we have the word more here and we don't have any comparison in the question. We can't accept the answer too. For C, slowest is the superlative form of adjective. We can't accept the answer. So, slowly is the best adverb that describes the verb walks for grandpa, right? So, this is the answer. Well done to all of you. I strongly believe that you can answer this type of questions in future. Okay, because I can see you're so actively answering the screen. Now, children, before we go on with our lesson, did you notice something in the exercise we did just now? Yes, we saw some comparative adverbs in the answers, right? Let's talk about those now. What is a comparative adverb? Usually when we talk about comparative, we know that we use them for adjectives like more beautiful, less expensive, higher, bigger, taller, and etc. But adverbs also have comparative. These are very easy, but many of you used to make some common mistakes in your examination because you get confused with the words. Right? Now, on the screen, you can see sentences with comparative adverbs here. For the first one, can you speak more loudly? What is the comparative adverb here? Yes, correct. We added more to the adverb loudly. So it became comparative that modifies the verb speak. Okay, speak more loudly. For number 2, it's the same way there. It compares with two parties, adults and children. We use the word less quickly. We use the word less quickly here, which shows us the adverb modifies the verb learn. Okay, adults learn things less quickly than children. That means children learn more quickly than the adults. That's the meaning of the sentence, right? Leon's car goes faster than Benjamin's. Okay, now for this number 3, we have faster than, right? Sometimes in your MCQ, you will have answers as more fast, more fastly, but you cannot choose them because both are errors. Some children make mistakes here when they come across these type of words in their examination. Okay, to make you clear today, you have to know the comparative adverbs have to explain on the verb and how it explain on the verb goes here. Okay, now for number 4, Amuda sings better than Mary does. You know here, you are comparing something, right? You can also say, Amuda sings well when you don't want to compare it with Mary. But in this sentence, we want to compare how Amuda sings compared to Mary. So that is why we are using better than. And sometimes in the question, you will have more well, more better. Please don't choose those words because they are errors. Right? You have to say Amuda sings better than Mary does. Okay. Now class, we have come to our final topic of the day. Right? Now, let us go to our final topic. It's position of adverbs. Why do we have to learn this? It is because as for teacher, many of my students have came to me and said, where exactly should I put an adverb in sentence, teacher? It's so confusing. So, children, let me ask you, how many positions should an adverb have in a sentence? Can you guess? Can you guess, class? 3, 2, 4, 1. Sivraj, very good. You said 3. Well done. Yes, we have 3 positions for an adverb in a sentence. They are beginning, middle, and at the end. Alright. In the first example here, we have hopefully my wife will be waiting for me at the airport. It shows the hope, how I feel. So the hope changed to adverb, and the adverb is in the beginning of the sentence or before the subject, my wife. So it is in the beginning. Alright? So for the middle case, the adverb is in the middle, that is between the subject, I, and the verb travel. So you say it as, I often travel to Penang. Right? And for the end, for those adverbs, we put it at the end. These are the example. She dances gracefully. So you can see the adverb at the end of the sentence. So these are the 3 main positions that you have to remember, whether it goes before the verb, before the subject, or before the adjective. Alright? Now, well children, I guess these are some of the examples of sentences which can help you to get a clearer picture. Adverbs position can be before or after a verb. Number one, she sings sweetly. Sings is a verb, sweetly is an adverb. So, the adverb comes after the verb. It describes the verb. The snail moves slowly. So, you know the snail is moving very slowly. You will happily take a ride. So, here you can notice that the adverb comes before the verb. It can also comes before the verb. He angrily broke the ruler. You can't say he broke angrily the ruler. So you must say it as he angrily broke the ruler. So this is how you place the position of adverb in your sentences correctly. So I'm sure with this type of examples, you can do well in future. Okay, well, now I'm sure you are smart enough now to decide where to put the adverb in sentences. Actually, we have many rules in adverb position in English, but teacher have taught you the main important ones to avoid most common mistake you can make in your exam. Right? Before we go further, let me test you how much you have learned by now. On the screen, there are 6 sentences, and all the 6 sentences are with errors. The placement of the adjective, the verbs are in errors. Okay? So you have to place the position of adverbs correctly. Now, I want you to think and put the adverb in their correct position in each sentence. For number 1, Maya looks angry extremely. Do you think is correct? Number 2, really Lucy likes pancakes. Number 3, James placed carefully the candles on the cake. The audience loudly laughed at the comedian's joke. Never I watch horror movies. It looks weird when I'm reading it to you, right? Riyashini, very good. You got the answer correct there. Suchitra, extremely angry. Alright, now let's check the answers together. Now for number 1 and number 2. Maya looks extremely angry. This is the correct answer. This is because when an adverb of degree is extremely, in this case, it modifies the adjective angry. The adverb should come first so that it can explain about the verb, about the adjective. Now, Lucy really likes pancakes. You can't say, really Lucy likes pancakes, right? So, you have the answers here correctly, most of you. Very good. Now, for adverbs of manner. For adverbs of manner, now for number 3 and number 4 is the best example here. James carefully placed the candles on the cake. You can't say James placed carefully the candles on the cake. You can't say that. You have to say, how did James place the candles on the cake? Okay, carefully placed it. Right. Alright, now the audience laughed loudly at the comedian's joke. This is the correct answer. You can't bring the adverb before the verb laughed because it can't explain or describe the verb. Right? So you have to place it this way. The audience laughed loudly at the comedian's joke. Okay? Now, for number 5 and 6. In number 5, you can see the frequency never always go in the middle position between the subject I and the verb watch. Okay? So, the answer is I never watch horror movies. In some situation, adverb of frequency can go at the beginning or end of a sentence. But usually, we put them in the middle position before the main verb. Usually, it goes that way. Okay? Likewise, in number 6, if the main verb is be, can you see the main verb here? So, for an example, when you have the main verb as is, are, was, or am, then the frequency of adverb sometimes, okay, have to go after the main verb. After the main verb. So that is why you say Rashid is sometimes late for work. Right? Now, well done to those who got all these correct. And those who have tried, you guys did a good job. Right? Well, children, I believe you will have a clearer picture by now. So, let's test yourself. Can you give me the types of adverbs we have learned in previous slides? Let me give you an example. Adverbs of frequency, which explains how often. Anyone else? Class, can you try? Types of adverbs. Yes. Adverbs of manner, adverbs of degree, adverbs of place, and adverbs of time. These are the main 5 types of adverbs that you have to remember in order to form correct sentences. Alright, class? Now, let us go to the first question here. The bus driver waited dash for the children to cross the road. What is the keyword here? I think you all are already expert in this type of questions. Yes, waited. Correct. Now, what is the best adverb that can explain about the verb waited? A, loudly? No. Can you wait loudly? And can you wait fast? It's not acceptable. Lately, as I told you just now, lately? No. You have to wait patiently. Exactly. The answer is D. Very good. Vasuntra, Priya, Tarun, Pritika, well done to you. All of you answered well. Okay. Did you go to the clinic? Dash. What's the keyword here? The keyword is go, but you have another keyword here. Did. When you underline this keyword did, you know that this question is in the past form. So you have to find the answers in the past form. It's so easy. A, you know now, it's not in the past form. Fast, it's not in the past form too. Yesterday, You're not sure, right? Every day? No. So yesterday is the correct answer. Why yesterday? Did shows past form and yesterday is also a past form. And it is also an adverb too. Alright? Now, Ganesh looks dash handsome in that shirt. Ganesh looks. What's the keyword here? Looks. How does Ganesh look in that shirt? You have to say very? Not sure. Can you say Ganesh looks well handsome? No, it's not suitable. Ganesh looks quite handsome, but it does not tell you how much, how exact. So we can't accept that too. Ganesh looks badly? No. So the correct answer is very. Ganesh looks very handsome in that shirt. Well done, kids. Arvind, answer A, very good. Now, Rina, dances dash than Rani does. A good, B well, C better, D worst. What's the correct answer? The keyword here is then. So you know you have to find a comparative adverb here. You can't use good, you can't use well, and you can't use worse because worse is a superlative. It's not comparative. So you know the answer is better. When you see itself, you can find the answer. Right? So finally, you have answered all the question correctly. Okay? I'm truly amazed with your activeness class. Most of you got all the answers correct. Right? Okay, children? Now, I strongly believe all of you understood what you have learned today. Right? I hope that this topic will be very helpful for you in your comprehension paper, section A for the MCQ. You know, you have the question number 1 until number 20. You have all the grammar rules and then you have parts of speech and this type of questions. And we took one part of speech today, that is adverb, and I'm pretty sure you'll be well versed on this topic in future. Okay. Moreover, it will be also helpful for you for your writing. You will know how to use the positions of adverbs correctly in your sentences. Right? If you can remember the concept, you can do well. I can see many of you followed my lesson well. Thank you, children. Thank you very much. Stay home. Stay safe. Till then, take care. I hope all of you enjoyed my lesson. And before ending our session today, let me take this opportunity again to express my gratitude to our Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, the Penang Headmasters Association, Cisco Sendirian Berhad, the coordinators, Mr. Heyman and Mr. Prabhu, for their continuous support for me and my colleagues, and my beloved headmistress, Mrs. Maheshwari. And always never forget my working colleagues for their continuous support. Thank you, everyone. I'm really happy to be part of our team. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher PRABITRA, for the wonderful session on adverbs. I'm sure her eye-catching slides and quizzes have benefited you in a way. Shivani Kalimani, Sri Charan, Avinasri, Hari Sudashini, Yoshini, Kanimoli, Vagis, Lokesh Ram, Jananishwari, Arvind, Lavanya, Joel Matthew, Kavya, Kailash, Madesh, and Danesh. Are you all still around? Well done, kids. You have showed active participation in our class today, so keep going. Before I end the session, I would like to remind you on the hybrid class. Since it's school holidays, but the online class is still ongoing, which means next Tuesday there will be a Bahasa Tamil online class from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. as usual. Lastly, don't forget to register your attendance. The link has been provided in between of the class, and you can see it on screen as well. So it is very important. Finally, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get latest updates. With that note, I would like to end our session today. It's a bye from me, Teacher Sri Priya. See you all again in future classes. Bye.